Your soulmate spent the entire night talking to their family about you. Now find out what happened during that conversation. My beloved child. Stop for a moment and listen carefully. Last night was not an ordinary night. While the world was asleep, your soulmate stayed awake, speaking about you for hours with their family. Every question they were asked had only one answer: your name. Every silence in that room carried a meaning that no one expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened after midnight completely changed the direction of that conversation, and the words spoken next left everyone staring at each other in disbelief. The room became quieter with every passing minute. One family member asked, "Are you truly certain?" Instead of answering immediately, your soulmate took a deep breath, looked down for a moment, and then revealed something they had never shared before. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Faces that were full of doubt slowly turned into expressions of surprise. Someone even whispered, "If this is true, everything we believed until now was incomplete." Don't skip, because the next sentence spoken in that room became the reason the conversation continued until sunrise. As the first light of morning began to appear, one final decision was almost made, but before anyone could finish speaking, an unexpected thought changed everything once again. Your soulmate looked around the room and said, "There is still one thing they don't know." The silence that followed was louder than any words. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened immediately after those words is the moment that connects directly to you, and the next part reveals the secret that no one in that room was prepared to hear. But the conversation was far from over. The moment those words echoed through the room, everyone leaned forward, waiting for an explanation. Your soulmate finally looked into the eyes of every family member and quietly said, "They have no idea how much their presence has changed my heart." A long silence followed. No one interrupted. No one argued. They simply listened as story after story unfolded, revealing moments that had been hidden from everyone until that very night. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Then, the oldest person in the room slowly stood up and asked one question that changed the entire atmosphere. "If everything you're saying is true, what are you waiting for?" Those words struck your soulmate deeply. Their eyes filled with emotion, but instead of answering immediately, they reached for something they had been carrying all along. Everyone watched in complete silence, wondering what it was. The moment it was revealed, the room fell completely still. No one expected that memory to exist, and suddenly every doubt began to disappear. Stay till the end, because what they showed their family became the strongest proof they could have ever given. Just when everyone thought the discussion had finally reached its conclusion, another family member quietly said, "There is still one final truth that hasn't been spoken." The room became silent once again. Every face turned toward your soulmate, waiting for the answer that could change everything. Your soulmate slowly nodded, took a deep breath, and prepared to reveal the one secret they had protected for the longest time. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened next made the entire family see you in a completely different way. A deep silence covered the room as your soulmate finally began to speak again. Every eye remained fixed on them, waiting for the truth that had been hidden for so long. They softly said, "There is something I've never had the courage to tell anyone, until tonight." The room froze. Even the quiet sounds outside seemed to disappear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next few words carried a weight that no one in that house was prepared to hear. One by one, your soulmate described the moments that made them believe your connection was unlike anything they had experienced before. They spoke about small memories that everyone else would have ignored, but to them, those moments meant everything. A family member smiled gently and whispered, "Now we finally understand." Another slowly nodded, realizing that this was never a passing feeling. The atmosphere completely changed. Doubts faded, questions became fewer, and for the first time that night, hope quietly filled the room. But just as everyone thought the hardest part was over, someone asked one final question that made your soulmate pause once again. Without saying a single word, your soulmate looked toward the window as the morning sun began to rise. They closed their eyes for a brief moment and then gave an answer that no one expected. The room fell silent again, but this time the silence felt different. It felt like the beginning of something unforgettable. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the very next event would leave the entire family speechless and change the direction of the story forever. Just when the room seemed ready to fall silent forever, another voice gently broke the stillness. Before this night ends, there is one last thing we must understand. Every heartbeat seemed louder than the last as your soulmate slowly turned toward the person who had spoken. Their expression changed completely, as though they had been waiting for this exact question. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what was revealed next made everyone realize the conversation had never been about doubt, it had always been about timing. Your soulmate carefully shared one final memory that no one in the family had ever heard before. It wasn't the biggest moment, nor the loudest, but it carried the deepest meaning. As those words filled the room, every face softened. One family member quietly whispered, "Now everything makes sense." Another nodded without saying a word. The atmosphere transformed from uncertainty into quiet confidence. Yet, before anyone could close the conversation, a small unexpected detail came to light, one that connected every piece of the story together and left everyone looking at each other in complete amazement. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The morning had fully arrived, but no one stood up to leave. It felt as if everyone knew the story was still unfinished. Your soulmate took one final breath and said, "There is one message that still hasn't reached them." The room became completely still once again. Every eye waited for what would happen next, knowing this final step could change everything. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next chapter begins with a moment that no one saw coming, and it brings you closer than ever to the truth hidden throughout the entire night. The conversation had finally ended, or so everyone believed. Just as chairs began to move and the room started to empty, one family member quietly called your soulmate back. "Wait, there's something we've all been thinking." Those simple words stopped everyone in their tracks. Your soulmate slowly turned around, sensing that this moment would become the most unforgettable part of the entire night. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what was said next changed every expectation in that room. The oldest voice among them spoke with calm confidence. We have listened to every word, every memory, every reason, and now we understand something we didn't see before. The room fell completely silent. Your soulmate stood motionless as each family member began sharing how their opinion had changed throughout the night. Doubt had quietly turned into understanding. Questions had become hope. Then someone smiled and said, "There is only one thing left to discover. Do they know how important they truly are?" Those words echoed through the room, leaving your soulmate speechless for several long moments. As everyone prepared to leave, your soulmate looked at the closed door, almost as if they could already see the future waiting on the other side. They whispered, "Soon, they'll understand why this night changed everything." No one answered, because deep inside, everyone felt the same thing. The story wasn't ending, it was only beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next moment reveals the unexpected promise your soulmate made before the sun fully rose, a promise that no one in that room will ever forget. The sun had already risen, but your soulmate still hadn't left the room. Everyone noticed they were quietly holding on to one final thought. Then, with complete confidence, they said, "Before another day passes, I have to follow my heart." Those words instantly captured everyone's attention again. No one spoke. No one moved. It felt as though the entire night had been leading to this single moment. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next became the most surprising part of the entire conversation. A family member gently smiled and asked, "If you had the chance to say only one sentence to them right now, what would it be?" Your soulmate closed their eyes for a brief second before answering. "I would tell them they have no idea how deeply they've changed my life." The room became completely still. Those words weren't dramatic, they were genuine. Even those who had questioned everything at the beginning of the night now looked at your soulmate with quiet understanding. But just when everyone thought the conversation had finally reached its end, a soft knock echoed from outside the room, and every face immediately turned toward the door. No one expected anyone to arrive that early. Your soulmate slowly walked toward the door, paused for a moment, and reached for the handle. Their heartbeats seemed louder than the silence surrounding them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the person standing on the other side was carrying news that would leave the entire family completely speechless, and the next part reveals exactly what happened when that door finally opened. The door slowly opened. But instead of loud voices or hurried footsteps, there was only a quiet presence that instantly changed the atmosphere. The visitor spoke just a few words, yet those words carried enough weight to make everyone fall silent again. Your soulmate looked completely stunned, as though they had just heard something they never imagined they would hear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because from this moment forward, every decision made that night began to make perfect sense. The visitor shared a simple but unexpected piece of news. It wasn't about the past, it was about what could happen next. Every family member exchanged surprised glances. One of them slowly smiled and whispered, "Maybe this is the sign we've been waiting for." Your soulmate stood still, holding on to every word, realizing that everything discussed throughout the night had quietly led to this exact moment. The doubts that once filled the room had almost disappeared, replaced by a feeling that something extraordinary was beginning to unfold. Just before the visitor turned to leave, they paused and delivered one final sentence that no one in the room will ever forget: "The next step doesn't belong to fear, it belongs to faith and courage." Your soulmate lowered their head for a moment, then smiled in a way their family hadn't seen in a long time. "Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you." Because what your soulmate decided immediately after hearing those words will surprise everyone, and the next chapter reveals the choice that could change everything. Without wasting another moment, your soulmate stepped back into the room and quietly said, "I've made my decision." The words were calm, but they carried a certainty that no one had heard before. Every family member immediately stopped what they were doing. No one interrupted. They could all feel that this wasn't just another conversation, it was the beginning of something they would remember for years. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the decision they were about to reveal had been growing in their heart long before this unforgettable night. One by one, your soulmate thanked every person who had listened instead of judging, who had asked questions instead of making assumptions, and who had stayed awake until sunrise to understand the truth. Then they quietly admitted, "The more we talked, the clearer everything became." The room filled with peaceful silence. A gentle smile appeared on every face as they realized the fear that had once surrounded the conversation had completely disappeared. But just as everyone believed the story had finally reached its happiest moment, one family member remembered a small detail that no one else had noticed, and that single detail changed the atmosphere once again. Your soulmate slowly turned toward the window, watching the morning light grow brighter with every passing second. They whispered, "There's still one thing left to do before this journey truly begins." Those words echoed through the room, leaving everyone wondering what the final step could possibly be. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next moment uncovers the hidden promise your soulmate is finally ready to keep, and it's the one truth they have been waiting to reveal all along. The room was completely quiet as your soulmate took one slow step forward. Every face was waiting for the final promise they had hinted at since the night began. Then, with calm confidence, they said, "I'm done hiding what I truly feel." The words were simple, yet they carried enough emotion to leave everyone speechless. A gentle smile spread across the room, but no one celebrated too soon. They all sensed that one final surprise was still waiting. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One family member carefully placed a hand on your soulmate's shoulder and asked, "If this is the path you've chosen, what happens next?" Your soulmate looked toward the rising sunlight and quietly replied, "The next step begins when the right moment arrives." Those words filled the room with hope. Everyone understood that patience had not been weakness, it had been preparation. For the first time all night, every heart seemed to beat with the same quiet confidence. Yet, just as the conversation was about to end, someone noticed something unexpected resting on the table, something that had been there all along without anyone paying attention. Your soulmate slowly picked it up and smiled in a way no one had seen before. This, they whispered, is the reminder that everything happens for a reason. The family gathered closer, eager to understand what it truly meant, but your soulmate simply held it close and looked toward the future. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next chapter reveals the final reaction of the entire family, the moment that turns one unforgettable night into the beginning of an extraordinary new journey. The first rays of sunlight filled the room, but no one rushed to leave. It felt as if everyone knew they were standing at the edge of a life-changing moment. Then the oldest member of the family slowly smiled and said, "Last night, we began with questions. But this morning, we have our answer." Your soulmate lowered their head for a moment, overwhelmed by what those words truly meant. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next became the moment your soulmate would remember forever. One by one, every family member shared the same message. They spoke about trust, hope, and the courage to follow what truly matters. Your soulmate listened carefully, their eyes filled with quiet emotion. Then someone gently said, "When the right people are meant to meet, even the longest night becomes the shortest journey." Those words changed the atmosphere completely. Every fear that had existed only hours before disappeared, replaced by a peaceful certainty that something extraordinary was drawing closer. But before anyone could end the conversation, your soulmate made one final request that surprised everyone in the room. With complete confidence, your soulmate looked at their family and softly said, "When the moment finally arrives, welcome them with the same kindness you showed me tonight." Silence filled the room once again, but this time it was a silence of understanding. Every person slowly nodded without hesitation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next chapter reveals the unexpected sign that appeared only moments later. A sign that made everyone believe this unforgettable night was only the beginning of an even greater story. Just as everyone believed the story had finally reached its ending, something unexpected happened. A gentle breeze moved through the room, and for a brief moment, every conversation stopped. Your soulmate quietly smiled and whispered, "This feels like the confirmation I've been waiting for." No one laughed. No one questioned those words. Instead, every family member looked at one another with the same expression, as if they had all reached the exact same conclusion without speaking it aloud. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next few moments became the most unforgettable part of the entire night. The oldest member of the family slowly stepped closer and placed a reassuring hand on your soulmate's shoulder. "You came into this room carrying uncertainty," they said softly, "but you're leaving with confidence." Those words filled the room with quiet emotion. Your soulmate took a deep breath and nodded, knowing that every difficult conversation, every question, and every long silence had led to this single moment. Then, just before everyone walked away, one final thought was spoken, a thought so unexpected that it left the entire room completely still. Your soulmate looked toward the doorway one last time and said, "The next time this story continues, nothing will be the same." A peaceful silence followed, but this time it carried excitement instead of uncertainty. Everyone knew a new chapter was about to begin. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final chapter reveals what your soulmate decided after leaving that room, and why that decision could change everything from this moment forward. The door quietly closed behind your soulmate, but the story did not end there. They paused for one final moment, looked back at the home where every question had finally found its answer, and softly whispered, "Tonight changed me forever." There was no fear left in their heart, only clarity. Every conversation, every silence, and every unexpected turn had prepared them for what would come next. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the very next choice they made carried a meaning far greater than anyone could have imagined. As they walked away, they held on to one promise that had been born during that unforgettable night: no more hesitation, no more unanswered feelings, and no more waiting for the perfect moment. They understood that some connections become stronger not because everything is easy, but because every challenge reveals their true value. Back inside the house, the family watched through the window with peaceful smiles. One of them quietly said, "Tea."